Hey guys, how's it going? I think today's project is going to be this Cub Cadet that showed up last week, and the scenario is the transmission we believe is kaput. It's a hydrostatic. I think it's a peerless. The transmissions on all the hydros, most of the hydro stuff now, is they call it non-serviceable. They don't have a breakdown of them. They don't sell parts for them. So you pretty much have to buy the whole unit and replace it. Unfortunately, that unit costs more than the whole tractor is worth once it's done, or at least what you can sell it for once it's done. So that's the story with this guy, is that the owner just could not afford to, or didn't want to put any more money into it. Instead, he bought another new Cub Cadet. So I figured it would be a good candidate to tear into and see what is going on with it. Might as well fire it up. It's running it's got a good motor. Well, the motor runs, let's put it that way. It's a Kohler 20 horse single. I believe it has an exhaust leak. It sounds kind of loud. Or a blown head gasket. I'm thinking more exhaust leak though, just because of the way it does run. Let's see if we need choke or not. You guys impressed? Yeah, let's try it without the choke. Sounds like it needs the valves adjusted too. But it's got 565 hours on it, which is pretty high for like a residential type mower. Unfortunately, the new stuff doesn't hold up very well, and I do know that transmissions have been having an issue. I know John Deere runs that same trans and a couple of others, and they've been crapping out at like 200 to 300 hours on them. This one again having 500 hours on it makes it you know, it made it past what most of them are doing. So without further ado, I'm going to get the thing up in the air, and we're going to take a look at this trans, and maybe even possibly take it out and maybe take it apart and see what's making it tick on the inside, see what the failure is, at least even if we can't fix it. But I might have a spare trans for it out back. I'm not sure until I get them side by side, but that's getting ahead of ourselves. So I got up in the air and kind of give it a quick look over. The first thing I see is looks like that seal on that axle crapped out. You see where all the dirt stuck to it. The dirt stuck to it because the gear oil was pissing out of that side, and then of course now it sticks to the gear oil. So I would say we got a leakage issue. Be nice if it was just low on fluid, but I kind of doubt it. I bet you it's low on fluid, and then the fluid took the transmission out. I don't know. There's got to be a way to get fluid in it. They got fluid in it from the factory. Can't see much though. So I'm gonna go take a couple of minutes and see if we can try to maybe get some stuff out of the way and get a better access to that trans, and see if we can look inside it. Alright, so I jacked it up. I took the cage that was on the back for the bagger system out of the way, and I kind of want to see if I can get some fluid in it, or work with it still in the tractor, because I want to be able to run it and see if it has any kind of response. I wonder if I could probably sneak around the tires, take the tires off, and kind of sneak our way. Sneak our way in there and pop something off. Yeah, that seal's split. Unless that's an O-ring. Yeah, it might be just an O-ring. Or somebody was in there and they shoved a couple of O-rings in there to figure it would help seal it up. It's got play in it. Well, I think I'm going to take an air gun and I'm going to blow off a bunch of that crap right there. It'd be nice if I could pressure wash it, but something's got to open up inside there to get in there. Alright, let me get some air on that, clean some of that crap off. So I took the tire off the other side. And there's no O-rings on that side, so that was just someone's feeble attempt to try to stop the leak, I guess. I'm kind of wondering if it might be just easy enough to drop the trans, at least enough so that you can kind of like access the top of it. See 5 bolts pretty much holding it. 2 on each side, and you got one that kind of stabilizes it from twisting. And just looking how the linkage is tied into it for forward and reverse. I just see 1 rod. I think there would be 2. I think there'd be 1 for brake. Nope. Pull 5 bolts out and let it sag down a little bit and see if we can see anything a little bit better than what we're seeing now. Well, it might be a sucky trans, but it's definitely easy to drop down. Yeah, those 5 bolts was it. And I guess to reinstall, I just got to take the neutral lever off of there. And we'll just leave that off. But I do see what looks like to be a fill right there. So I would say that we go put a bunch of fluid in there. Trans. Oh, gas. That's what we're dealing with. Manufactured under. Yeah, my eyes aren't good enough to read that. I'm sure you guys already read it. So let me blow some compressor air on the top of this. We'll blow the crap out from around the top of it so we don't any heebie-jeebies go down inside it. And we'll pop that off, maybe put some fluid back in it and shove it back up there and see if it recovers before we decide to chop something up that doesn't need to be chopped up. Off I said. I'm not quite sure how that drain plug comes out of there, or the vent rather comes out of there. And so we're going to go with the the stab and lift method. See how that works for us? We're going to pretty much just going to hammer ourselves a little screwdriver down inside there. I tried wedging the screwdriver along the side of it, and that wasn't having any part of it. There it goes. Kind of, sort of. Trying to use it as a dipstick, see if anything is kind of coming up for us. Let's get a Q-tip, a long Q-tip. We'll work that down inside there. I'm not seeing anything of you. That's all the way down to the bottom. Just starting to get a little wet right there. So that was all the way down to there. That's the bottom of the bolt. So I don't think that trans has anything in it. And again, I don't know whether it survived or not. So I think I'm going to do a little Google search and see what we're going to go for fluid. If not, we might just go with like a 30 weight motor oil and see if that comes back, but I want to see if it takes a hydraulic fluid first before I go and do that. So I wasn't able to ID what that actual trans is, but I brought up their Tough Torque website, and it lays out a bunch of different transmissions, and it looks like I want to say about 80% of them say 10W30. So I am going to go with that and just see if we get a response. I know it's not ATF because it didn't come out red. That's grease, so that's probably going to be the one that says grease is going to be a gearbox, so it's not them. So it's either going to be that J20C or 1030. So let's go fill that up. I don't know, maybe halfway. Probably try filling it up to maybe about right here with fluid. We'll put it back up and we'll see if we get a response out of it. Now we got some in there. I think it's coming up to right there on the stick, which makes us right about there. Not quite sure how much it takes, but I guess as long as we have the pump under the fluid level and there's an airspace in it so it doesn't hydrolock, should be good. So I'm going to button this back up. We'll take the neutral lever for rolling it right out of there for now, and we should be able to shove everything right back up in there and fire the tractor up and see if those little axles turn. I think I'd be smart enough to put the tractor back down on the ground, so if it does fall off the lift, it's not falling from 4 feet, it's only falling from 1.5 feet. But I think we hop up on there and now we fire it up and we see if those back axles start moving. No. Yeah, there we go. It's pivoting on the front axle. All right. I don't want to say it too early, but maybe we got lucky. The only thing is we haven't put a load on it yet, though, you know. So I think I'm going to bring it back up in the air. I'll bolt up everything that needs to be bolted up, which is just two more bolts actually, and we'll pop the wheels on it and drop it on the ground and see if it will move the tractor with any kind of vim and vigor. And if that's the case, then we're going to go work on see if we can dig that seal out of there and replace that so it does not happen again. I gotta take a second, make it so I can get the wheel on and off because it's a tad rusty on this side. Put a little caca on there to keep it from getting rusty again, and we'll pop the wheels on. And it's that time. It's either going to be a very happy moment or a wah 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 moment. That ain't good. Goes forward. All right, guys. disgusting. Stupid reverse lever. The mower deck seems weird. It seems like it's not getting everything it needs all the time. So I have a feeling that belt was probably goofy, but the trans is good, and that's kind of the main issue that we're looking into. So good. I'd say now we need to go pop that that left rear tire off and see if we can go find a seal that will fit that and cure that problem of it. We'll kind of focus on that for now, and then we'll jump around to other tractor issues. I got the wheel back off of it, and it's actively dripping, as you can see right there. Where am I? Right there. So I figured we're going to go and see if we can find a seal before we rip that one out of there. Now let's see if the Horde pays off again. We might have something that we need right inside there that will fit. So I'm going to go poke around this little assortment and see if we can get something that is the correct diameter of that. Well, I got real lucky because the very first one I picked up seems like it is the correct one. I don't know about the ID's fine, but the OD I'm not quite sure of yet. Now I did it, now I got it stuck in there. So, the fun part is going to be trying to get that old one out of there with that axle in the way. So, I think I'm going to go and probably drive a pick into that and see if we can do some prying to get that sucker out of there. So let me go look at my assortment of stuff and see if I could stab that guy. Well, I got ourselves a snap-on pick of sorts, and I just kind of ground the end of it so it's got somewhat of a point on it. Figure we're going to go see if we can just kind of go hammer that sucker in there through it and then pry. That rubber's going to come out easy. I'm going to have to get me a drain pan. I think she's going to piss and tip. Whoa! Want to make sure I don't damage the aluminum. More than the aluminum can get damaged more than the shaft. You definitely don't want to score the axle, then you're screwed. Yeah, this is not going to be easy. So I think what I'm going to go try and do is on top, I'm going to try driving straight in and see if I can kind of collapse it. They make pullers too, but this is kind of small to get in there. And I got it. There we go. Ha! here's your problem. I would probably want that seal. Because it's not really going to matter. I think I'm going to try drying that up a little bit and put some sealer around the outside edge here so that the old one had like a rubber jacket on it. You can see it. But this one's more of a... That's rubber too. Never mind. I thought it was metal. We'll be fine. So I'm gonna go drive that in. Probably gonna try to find a piece of pipe that's as close to the outside diameter as possible. I'll put it right over the axle and I'll tap the whole thing in. I got a piece of conduit. Let's see if I can do the trick. Didn't exactly go in with the amount of drag I would have liked, but we'll see. I think what I'm going to do is it actively dripped just sitting here, so I'm going to let that. I'm just going to put it together. So I'm going to let it sit for a while, see if any moisture comes through. But we're just going to go for it while I'm waiting. I'm going to put the neutral lever back on and maybe look at some other stuff. So I'm looking at the deck right now, and just trying to see what's kind of going on. Of course, it's in the off position at the moment, and I think I'm about halfway down on the deck height. I think we'll run it to some motions. We'll see what happens. Put it in the... Alright. So that's operation. And that pulley just looks like hell. That thing is really not looking the same direction as everything else is it? So I think that guy... My belt's not very tight either. I think this guy needs to be like that. So I'm going to probably try and get in there with some kind of something on this bar with the preload off and see if we can twist that to get that to look like it wants to play a little bit better than what it's doing right now. Probably an adjustable would be my best bet. Hold on, guys. Just stay right there. I think I'll get the belt off. We'll drop the deck all the way down, give us some room. Better. Kind of dipping down though, huh? I don't know if that's gonna matter. Yeah, it's gotta come up some. Kind of eyeballing the other one. I'm kind of guesstimating where it should be. Big ass pry bar. Yeah, that looks better. They just bolted to the sheet metal of the deck, and that's not very stout. That looks decent. Watch, it's supposed to be that way, right? I wouldn't say it's all that tight though. It seems like it's kind of lame. Could be that the belt is just done, you know. It doesn't look that terrible though. I would think that what I'm talking about is I'm looking at the V of the belt itself, and it doesn't look like it's terribly gone, but that could be the issue though. Yeah, that's kind of sloppy. It's way sloppy. That should have more tension on it than that. What happens is you end up fighting. They have brake shoes. Let me see what's wrong. They have brake shoes on it, and so that when you turn the deck off, the deck is supposed to stop within 5 seconds, something like that. I'm not sure what the time is, but you see that spring right there. This big spring right here is the one that puts the tension on it, and then you can see that long little one is the return for the brake shoes. That one right there, and the spring, I'm not sure if it's showing up, for putting the tension on it. The belt's been rubbing on it, maybe because that pulley's out of whack, maybe not, but it's cut into the strength of the belt. It's actually worn the spring down quite a bit right there. I don't know if it's showing right there. I think that's what's happening, so it's not having enough balls to retract it, or a combination of both. Could be the belt's crappy and the spring has no balls. So I'm going to go and screw around with that a little bit and see if I can try to improve that, or possibly see if I have another belt, and we'll try that and see if it helps rectify that situation. So I decided to blame it on the belt. I think that is most of our issue, because I was looking at the distance that the two pulleys are coming close to each other in the run position, and they're very tight, and if I were to try to get them any closer, the belt guards would almost be touching the other pulley. So I surmise that it's going to be the belt. I don't see anything linkage wise on the deck that's causing the deck to be too far forward, and everything else looks to be okay. So fortunately, this tractor came with the owner's manual, and I was able to look up on there, and it had a part number for the 46-inch deck, and then I went on to eBay and I punched in that part number. Of course, 71 listings kind of come up, and then I just kind of went from that, and then I was able to come and get the size of the belt, which is 1/2 by 103. It's cheap enough to get it mailed. As you can see, it's free shipping. It's 17 bucks. Go get one. There's an auto parts store that I use in town, which is a good store. They will probably have a power equipment belt, power rated. What are they called? They're the green ones. Anyway, so they may have that in stock, and they're a fairly decent price. I'm sure I could probably do Home Depot or Tractor Supply, but generally with those places, the belts are like, they're kind of ridiculous. They're like 40 and 50 bucks for the same belt. So I'll check with them tomorrow and see if they have it. If they do not, I will probably just order it on eBay and kind of go from there, you know. So anyway, I think I'm probably going to make this the length of one video. We're going to chop it off right here. We did end up getting a good running tractor anyway. Let's go see how our drippy do is doing now that it's all back together. Hopefully it's nice and dry. I pressure washed the wheel. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think that took care of it, no problem. So it's good. I got lucky on this one. All right, guys. Again, thanks for watching, comments, subscribing. At some point, I'm going to do a question and answer. A lot of guys are asking questions about lifts and car starts and everything else, and it's just too much to try to answer 10 different people the same thing. So I'll make a video probably on that at some point in the near future. Again, if you like what you see, please give me a thumbs up. If you don't like what you see, then you can give me a thumbs down, I guess. All right, guys. Later.